Hello, everyone, and welcome to Community Connection. We have the amazing, the incomparable, the gentleman who wears many hats and someone who has really contributed so much to Metro Detroit over the years. We have Mr. Ed Deeb, whose current title is the Chairman and founder of the Michigan Youth Appreciation Foundation, but we're going to talk about all the other titles that he's had too, and all the wonderful things that he's contributed. Mr. Ed Deeb, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure.
Well, it's a privilege and an honor to have you here, sir. Absolutely. Wow. I've got Ed Deeb here in the studio, and I'm talking to him, so this is definitely an amazing day for me. So welcome to WDHT, and you have done so many different things. You have contributed so many different associations, so many different foundations, all with the same theme: helping people and giving them tools to be able to help themselves. Well, right now, the top of the totem pole here is the Michigan Youth Appreciation Foundation, which is an organization for Metro Detroit youths and appreciation for youths. Tell us about that. That seems like such an amazing initiative. 33 years.
Yeah,
now.
33 years. That was formed 33 years ago following altercations on Livernois Avenue between 6 and 7 Mile roads. There were a dozen youngsters running into the food stores and grabbing bottles of wine and liquor, running out, and the store owners chasing them. And in a 2-week period, unfortunately, there were 2 youngsters and 1 store owner shot and killed. The mayor at the time was Coleman Young of Detroit. He called me, he said, "Ed, it's getting bad out there. I'll try to calm the parents. You try to calm the retailers." So we worked on that and got through the hot summer. And then the mayor had a meeting in November, much cooler weather, November. And
that always helps.
Oh, yeah, it did. He had about 50 groups represented in his conference room in the city-county building, and he welcomed everybody, and after everybody introduced himself, he points his finger at me. He said, "Ed, what are you guys going to do next year to prevent this from happening again?"
That's quite a responsibility.
Mr. Mayor, are you talking to me, or are you talking to all these people in the room? He said, "I'm talking to everybody, but you carry the ball." So that's how it happened. I got a call from Tom Fox of Channel 2 and Jerry Blocker of WWJ Radio. They said, "We heard you're looking for a project, so are we. Let's get together." And we got together and formed Metro Detroit Youth Day. It's grown from 1,100 kids who attended to 34,000 kids this last summer.
So this is going to be happening July 15th on Belle Isle. So what do kids expect when they go there? And what's the, I know that you had told the story about the altercation, but how do we bring them together, and what do they do, and how does that...
We'll start off the morning.
All these questions, yes. I'm interested here.
We'll start the morning off at 8 o'clock. And we will award over 100 college scholarships in front of the stage at Youth Day. And their parents and the kids will be there. They'll walk across the stage like a graduation ceremony. We'll give them the paperwork for a scholarship, and they can then take it to school and have a $1,000 discount from their tuition. Then after that, we kick it off, and we have all the celebrities, the mayor, city council people. We will have the police department, the Boy Scouts, and others carrying the flag, the colors across the stage. Martha Reeves will sing the national anthem.
Martha, yes.
It's quite a ceremony there, and we have all kinds of activity for the kids. We will have all kinds of sports clinics, football, baseball, basketball, martial arts, tennis, golf, you name it, everything. And then we'll have 12 colleges and universities there, and we call it College Row. They'll talk to the kids about college and what it takes to be a success. And then we will eventually, in the middle of the day, we'll have a free lunch to all the people. We'll have 1,600 volunteers who supervise the kids, and we have about 340 organizations that participate in this. And then we have approximately 230 organizations who co-sponsor the event. It's grown by leaps and bounds. It takes a whole year to put this thing on.
I can absolutely imagine. I can imagine. So what is the effect that you've had in actually producing this for the last 33 years?
The whole thing was to show the youngsters when this first happened in the beginning that we care about them as a community. The business community cares about them. And we wanted to inspire them to do the most good as kids. They are our future leaders. We want them to go to college, finish college, be our leaders, and help revitalize the city of Detroit. That was the goal, and it's working. And if you can see now, the city is revitalizing, and we've had over 1 million youngsters in all that time. We have had doctors, lawyers, you name it. All kinds of people, dentists have graduated and called us and thanked us for helping them out. It's been quite a challenge and quite an honor to see that happen.
Well, usually when you hear about honoring someone, it's usually the adults, or you go to some kind of award ceremony. But very rarely do you look at honoring and appreciating our youth, and I think that's that's an amazing concept within itself.
Well, it is because especially in Detroit, we need to inspire them to go to school, stay in school, go to college, become something. And if you don't go to college, find a job after you graduate and contribute to the community and do something that you can be proud of, that your family can be proud of, the city can be proud of it, the state. And we're in a mode now that we're revitalizing the whole area. And we're very happy that we're able to get more kids now to college.
Absolutely. And we're in 2015, and I still feel our communities are not the way that they need to be. There's still so much segregation. So do you see that bringing them together on this kind of platform, do you see the interaction?
I do. We do see them. We visit different high schools. It's a tri-county event, 3 counties, and we see the kids studying, we see them graduating, more kids are graduating, more kids are going, and more colleges and universities are coming to us at this event and saying, hey, we like this, can we help you out? And they're giving out college scholarships as well. U of M, Michigan State, Western Michigan, Central Michigan, all of these colleges and universities, and others are providing scholarships for these kids.
This is a real vital tool for kids, for the community, and for business owners, definitely, to come together on one playing field. So it's 8:30 to 2:30. It's an entire day on Belle Isle, which is a great focal point. July 15th, 2015. So we're going to put that information for you up on the screen as well, for you to hopefully come on down.
We'd love to have you there.
I will be there.
Just to see what's going on. It's really quite a big deal.
Absolutely. I can't wait to go this year. It's 33 years in the making. Absolutely phenomenal, and I can't wait to just go and look at all the booths.
Be a pleasure.
And I want to play baseball. That's what I want to do.
That's
to play baseball.
Yeah.
Now, this is just one of the many things that you have done and the many contributions that you've made. I think you're mostly known for the business, the Michigan Food and Beverage Association. Was that one of the first things that you founded?
Yeah, that was. As a
what
matter
a question.
Of fact.
Was that one of the first things that you founded?
Well, when I graduated Michigan State, I got a job. I majored in journalism, incidentally, and advertising, and got a job with a small food industry newspaper. And so I got the job and stayed there a couple of years, and then the organization that wanted me called me and said, the guy's retiring, we're a small group, we're going to fold if you don't come in and help us. come on in. So I did. I helped them, and it grew. And then later we formed a much larger organization, which we founded, the Michigan Food and Beverage Association. And we got up to like 4,500 members who hired about 20,000 people, statewide. And the beauty of that is that the merchants had a place to call for information, for help. They didn't know what to do, or they needed health insurance, or needed coupon redemption, or they had a problem with the city, or whatever. They'd call us, and we would help them.
So it's almost like a small business administration kind of organization.
Yeah, very much like that, yes.
But focused on more food and beverage.
Exactly,
so
that's correct.
What kind of individuals actually joined? I mean, was it ethnically focused, or was it just a general kind of thing?
Well, I did a little history on the food industry. Way back to when the German people and the Polish people and the Italians, and then the Arabic people, the Syrians, the Lebanese, the Jordanians, or whatever. And when I was there, it was predominantly Middle Eastern, and because I would relate with them, they felt comfortable, so I was able to help them. And eventually, though, however, we had the riots in 1967. We had 400 of our merchants were affected by the riots, from broken windows to completely burned down stores.
Well, I know you were recognized for your work.
Yeah, I kept a log. Everybody called, I kept a log, and the the U.S. Senate on investigations heard about that. And they subpoenaed me to Washington to give them a copy of this thing, and I followed George Romney and Jerry Kavanaugh, and we went in and gave them the report, and that's when we found out that we had to form coalitions with the community. New Detroit and I, Walt Douglas, myself, Father William Cunningham, and Eleanor Jositis, all of us worked together to bring peace.
From the United Way.
Right, the United Way. All of the organization, we were working together. We had to. There was no choice, and we did. And that was one of the things. And since then, then the chain stores started to leave the city, not all of them, but some of them, and that left a void in the middle of the city of Detroit. So eventually we had some of the larger Arabic stores come in as full-line supermarkets, and today they are in the city, doing well, and inspired other big groups to come back, like Whole Foods and Myers and others came back to the city because of what they're doing.
What do you think of what's going on in terms of the city of Detroit, economically speaking, the revitalization process, the bankruptcy? Where do you think we're headed in terms of the future of the city of Detroit? Well,
I think for the first time in many years, we're headed in the right direction.
Oh, that's golden.
Well, I didn't mention this. In 1974, as the head of the Michigan Food and Beverage Association, I got a call from the Eastern Market people. And they said, hey...
You're intricately involved in that as well. I mean...
Well, it's food-related.
Absolutely.
Anyway, they said that they're losing business. People are not coming to the market. With the men were just coming back from World War II, and all of that, and they wanted to get married. And at that time, the supermarket as an entity was formed. So the homemaker, all she had to do is go to the corner grocer, get what she needed. She didn't have to go to Eastern Market. So they wanted to bring people back to the Eastern Market. So they asked me, how do we do it? I said, well, look, you got to have things going on here. What do you got going on? You got to have parades down Russell Street. You have to have different activities. You have to have pie eating contests. You have to have everything to get people back. They started that. And the Flower Day, that played a big role too. Yes. And finally, people started coming back. Today, we're getting the biggest crowd in the summertime for Eastern Market that we've ever seen. because they're doing things down there.
Sure. I remember when I was a little girl, we'd always go over there.
Oh, yeah.
Mom would not want to take me there because I'd come home with either a duck or a rabbit or something.
Oh, yeah. They were selling live animals
Yes.
there. People bought them, took them home.
Absolutely.
But it's an experience. You can stand in one corner at Eastern Market, and in 15 minutes, you'll see the nationalities of the world walking by you in 15 minutes. They're all there. That's amazing.
It's certainly an icon. It definitely is an icon, and I know you were instrumental in revitalizing the Eastern Market too. You were the founder of Friends of the Eastern Market as well. So
to get
that
people
was
to support
to come
the
back
market
and support.
And we were doing this all by the private sector, all the owners of these wholesalers, the retailers, and finally we approached the city, and we said, "You're not running Eastern Market the way it should be run. All you do is paint the sheds every 3 years, and that's it. We think we can run it better than the city." "You do?" I said, "Yeah, I think so."
Tell 'em like it is.
We met with the mayor and the city council, and they said, "Okay, we're going to give you a 3-year trial program. We're going to let you run all of Eastern Market. Everything is your responsibility for 3 years. Let's see what you can do."
That's huge. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's all we wanted to hear. We wanted to get rolling, and we did. And the minute we announced that there was a private corporation now, a nonprofit corporation running
Right.
Eastern Market, many of the large corporations, through their foundations, started giving us millions of dollars to renovate the Eastern Market. If you go down there, it's beautiful today. So that's what happened. They had more confidence in the nonprofit organization than they did in the city at that time.
I'm ashamed to say I haven't been down there in a few years, but
It's not too late.
I definitely want to go down. But it's nice to go in the spring and the summer when everything's
is,
out. And
especially.
Flower Day, I've been
Yeah.
there during Flower Day, and it's absolutely gorgeous. One more thing about the city of Detroit before we go on to the many other things that you represent. But in terms of the investment, Dan Gilbert's name always seems to,
Yeah.
rise to the top when you're talking about Detroit and what's going on. Now, do you think that process in terms of what he's investing and what he's doing, is that an intricate part of the spark to create more business and to create the revitalization, or is there sort of a balance there?
I think that in the long run it's going to pay. I'll tell you why it's important. He's taken these old buildings that have been just sitting there, not doing anything. He's revitalizing them. They're bringing people back from the suburbs to the city. And the downtown has become very vibrant if you've been down there lately.
Absolutely.
All the new restaurants and everything, and people are gathering. So I think it's in the right direction, but he needs more than just that. And so consequently, we have to revitalize the neighborhoods. We have to bring the people back to the neighborhoods to live and dwell in Detroit, not just visit downtown. And that will help in the long run.
And I think improving the city services too has been, something on the forefront. So hopefully, that kind of thing will move forward. I think coming from you and saying that we're moving in the right direction, that definitely gives hope and some new life into being downtown and playing downtown too. I miss doing that. We used to always go down, Woodward Avenue. There's the Fox Theater. It's gorgeous. I mean, we need to have it come back and be as vibrant as it was before. You have also tackled the issue of hunger within our community, and are the founder of Project Hunger.
Right.
How did that come on your lap as well?
Well,
they knew who to go to. You are definitely the go-to person around here.
We were looking for a project for the association and the food industry to tie in with, to give something back to the community. So we came up with Project Hunger, where people were donating their products and everything to a central location. We were boxing them and sending them to the areas that had people that needed food and beverage and so on. And it worked well. At that time, I also was the chairman of the Salvation Army.
Right.
So
Yes.
that helped, and they worked with us, and it kept on going. And we've turned it over now completely to the Salvation Army, but we're all still working on that because they've got the facilities to do that. It's still going on.
Certainly, certainly, and Food and Beverage Association, working with hunger.
Exactly.
I mean, definitely a nice fit. You are also known, and you call yourself a peacemaker, and all of us that know and love you know that is the case. But how did you get that title?
Well, I got the title, and I wasn't looking for a title.
I
Believe
know
me.
it was placed on you.
Following the riots, there were a lot of altercations. A lot of retailers were being picketed. A lot of the retailers were getting closed down because the community didn't like what they were doing. So they didn't know what to do. They would call my office, and I'd say, gee, I don't understand. What's the problem? Well, I don't know. They won't tell me. So I would get in my car and go to the store, and I see the people. I say, what's the problem? Well, they'd say something about the retail. I said, come on in. We're going in the store. And I would talk to them, find out what the problem was, talk to the retailer, get them to understand what was happening, make the peace, shake hands. They are happy, smiling. I said, thank you, and I'd go. That was it. And that's what
that was mediation at its finest.
And then we formed a coalition with New Detroit, Walter Douglas at the time, and we let people know that that's what we do. If you have a problem, call either New Detroit or my office, and we'll run down there and make the peace. And we've been doing that, and we still do it, but not as often. Thank goodness.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, your work has come to fruition. There's a lot of things that you're very, very proud of, and a lot of things, rightfully so, that you've done. But I know one of the things you're very proud of is your heritage. You always
Definitely.
talk about your heritage and where you
Yeah.
came from.
Yeah, I am very proud of my heritage. I learned a lot from my heritage. I grew up in the back of my parents' store, and I learned about the retail business because I would sell the penny candy to the kids and sort the bottles in the back. That was my job.
That was your job.
But
Did you get the money from it,
Yeah.
though? Okay.
I learned more about people dealing with the kids than ever before. And you'll learn how to deal with people. And I know my parents wanted me to stay in the store, but I wanted to go on to college and do something. And I won a 4-year music scholarship to Michigan State.
We should play the clarinet, right?
Yeah, right. In the
And your own band.
yeah, we had, but that was another story.
Oh, that's another story. Okay.
But we got the scholarship because I had to play in both the marching band and the symphonic band. And I did. And while we were there, we formed a group called the Arabian Nights, spelled Knights. I didn't start it, but I was one of the 4, and there were 2 Jewish guys who were students and 2 Arabic guys. And we got together and performed, and the music was great. They loved it. And we started getting booked at the fraternities and sorority house. Every weekend we were booked there, and that was the way we made some money along the way. So it was quite an experience. We did that for 3 years. It was a very popular group.
So what instrument did you play?
I played clarinet.
You did play the clarinet.
I was the only melody instrument. They all played durbucky, tambourine, clavicos, whatever. But yeah, we played all that. I learned all the Arabic music from my father, who had a record collection, and I would play them and memorize the tunes. It's been very, very interesting. We have a rich heritage.
Absolutely.
Very rich heritage. And sad to see all the problems going on in the Middle East. We need peacemakers there to help resolve the problems so that we can have a better life and a better world to live in. We don't need all of that stuff.
I think we need to send you over there, see what we can do.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm willing to go. You give me 3 or 4 guys, 3 or 4 on both sides, we'll go, and we'll try to make the peace, sure.
Absolutely. And I know one of your visions is that the way to create peace is to sit down and talk. And I don't think people are doing that. I think people are
They're
just
not.
getting
They're
angry,
not doing that.
and one thing is leading to another. Really quick, what do you think the future is? And I know this is a crazy question, but what do you think the future of the Middle East is at this
right
point?
now, I'm hoping and praying that we're going to eventually have a peaceful world, that people can live together no matter what religion, no matter what country, and start doing things to help make our world a better place. We need people to do more good, to respect people, to understand what they're doing. And it was going along pretty well for several years, except we did have problems with some other countries, but that's supposedly in the back burner now, and I'd like to see the people in the Middle East that have a common language, common food, and common heritage get together, and regardless of the religion, and make the peace.
I wish they'd just stop politicking and start making
That's
friends
exactly
out there.
correct.
And you know, that sounds sort of idealistic, but it is. It's a very very simple kind of ground that we can stand on, and it's called the human element, and we need to start looking forward to that. And you need to actually go over there and talk to them and put some sense into these people.
Ready.
Yeah, make them
I'm
listen.
Yeah.
Real quick before we I know we're running out of time, but you did an amazing video called "From A to Z: Arabic Contributions," and you are of Lebanese descent, Arab American, and very proud. I have to show this as well. This is something that is very unique to Ed Deeb. He who denies his heritage has no heritage. Very, very profound saying, and beautiful calligraphy and art on this poster that I get to keep. Thank you so much. But from A to Z, talk to us really quick about that.
Well, that came about when the first Iraq War started in the Middle East. And I was being deluged by the news media. Well, you know, what's going on there? Who are the Iraqis, and who are these, and who are that? And I was spending so much time on the phone, I wasn't getting any work done. So really, it's a true story. So I finally said to my staff, I said, look, we're gonna produce a video. When they call, we're gonna give them the video. The video will give them the information they need, and hopefully I'll have more time to do the work. So that's what happened. And we formed the video, and believe it or not, that video has been handed to over 2,000 schools, universities, libraries throughout the country. All the local media have copies of that. They know a little bit about the Middle East, but it really happened during the Iraqi conflict. So,
and there's a lot of information about different contributions.
yes, a lot of people don't realize that our people, our heritage, were the masters of mathematics, geometry, algebra,
Astronomy.
named after Al Jabr. I didn't know people knew that. We had law, judicial law, and that was part of the thing. The Arabic judicial law was eventually carried on to Great Britain and England and to the United States. A lot of people don't know that, and we have a great history. If you sail from, let's say, Lebanon all the way to Ireland, it's a straight line. They were mingling with the Irish and the Arabic people, and this is why there's an affinity with the Irish. It really is with the Irish people and the Lebanese people, and so I'm glad at least that's happening.
Absolutely beautiful, beautiful history there from A to Z. You can still get it. We have been sitting talking with the amazing Mr. Ed Deeb, and it has been definitely a privilege. Thank you so much for being here and sharing.
Thanks for having me here.
Absolutely,
thank you.
Absolutely. And thank you for being with us on Community Connection. See you next time.